Let's be real for a second. Your success, your happiness, it's all defined by the people you let into your life. But how do you actually decide who gets that access? Well, today we're diving into a powerful framework. Think of it as the #1 FBI rule for building your inner circle. So let's just jump right in with a tough question. I want you to really think about the people closest to you. Are they assets or are they liabilities? It's not an easy question, I know, but you've got to answer it because the stakes are way higher than you think. And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It reframes the whole problem. This isn't just about someone being negative. It's about an addiction. Some people are literally addicted to their own chaos. And guess what? They use your energy as their fix. This is way more than a bad mood. It's a dangerous one-way street. Which brings us to our first big idea, the hidden energy thief. We have to start treating this for what it is. It's a silent drain on your most valuable resources, you know? It's a kind of theft that happens so quietly, you often don't even notice it's happening until you're running on empty. Think about it like this. Your energy is your capital. It's a limited resource you have to invest every single day. So the real question becomes, are you investing that capital in your own mission, in your own growth? Or are you, without even realizing it, using it to finance someone else's chaos? Okay, so let's put a name to this energy thief. The source material for this actually uses a very specific and, a very provocative term to define this kind of person. And there it is, the emotional parasite. Now, let's be super clear. This isn't just a friend having a bad day. It's a consistent pattern. They literally feed on your positive energy to stabilize their own drama, which makes them a direct liability to whatever you're trying to build. We've all met someone like this, right? But look, it's not all doom and gloom and avoiding the negative. The real mission here is to find the positive alternative. So let's flip the coin and talk about the goal, finding the batteries included partner. This is what we're looking for, a batteries included partner. This isn't just someone who doesn't drain you, it's someone who actively fuels you. They bring energy, they bring stability, they bring focus. They are, just like it says, a strategic asset. This chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. Just look at the contrast here. Drain versus fuel. Chaos versus stability. Addicted to being broken versus driven and focused. It's the ultimate showdown, right? Liability versus asset. When you see it laid out like this, the choice becomes incredibly clear. Okay, so how do we actually tell the difference? How do we take action on this? Well, that's where the core of this whole framework comes in. A simple, tactical 3-point audit that you can use on anyone in your inner circle. The process itself is super simple, and you can do it over and over. First, you're going to analyze the energy exchange. Second, you'll assess their alignment with your mission. And finally, you'll determine their strategic value. Let's break down each one. All right, step 1. This is the gut check. It's the simplest and, honestly, it's often the most accurate. After you hang up the phone or leave their company, how do you feel? Do you feel fired up, inspired, energized? Or do you feel exhausted, depleted, just drained? You gotta be honest with yourself here. Next up, mission alignment. Think of it this way. Are they a tailwind pushing you forward or a headwind holding you back? What are your conversations about? Are you talking about growth, about goals, about ideas? Or is it all just gossip and drama? Do they champion your mission or do they just create distractions? And finally, step 3. This is the bottom line. This is where you try to take the emotion out of it and just look at the data from the first 2 steps. When you add it all up, is this person an asset or a liability? There's really no middle ground. It's either a net positive or it's a net negative. So once you've done the audit, the focus totally shifts. It's not just about weeding out the liabilities. It's about proactively, intentionally building a circle that actually serves your mission. Now, this is a really crucial point. This is not about being cold or ruthless. It's about strategic self-preservation. You're not just cutting people off. You are consciously choosing to invest your most valuable asset, your energy, where you're going to get the highest return. So, what does a smart energy budget actually look like? Well, something like this. Take a look at the allocation. A whopping 60% goes to your mission. Another 30% goes to your batteries included allies. And that leaves just 10% for everything else. How does your current budget stack up against that? This is what intentional living looks like. And that brings us right back to where we started with this powerful, powerful idea. This is the real cost if you do nothing. If you don't audit your circle, you're not just being passive. You are actively choosing to finance someone else's failures with your own precious time and potential. In the end, this audit, it just gives you the data. You still have to be the one to make the decision. So I'll just leave you with this final question, the one that only you can answer. Who will you choose to invest your energy in?